Welcome back, everybody. Let's get after it.
The worst year in human history was the year 536 AD.
Oh.
Okay, 536 AD. When was that? What was happening at that time?
There was a volcano that erupted in Iceland that ended up making the sky dark pretty much around the entire world, or the recorded world, Europe, Asia, Africa, dark for an entire year from this cloud.
An entire year?
An entire year. Like, to where all these different nations recorded that year of, like, the sun gave off light like the moon.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it gave off no warmth, and the global temperature dropped 15 degrees within that year. And so there was mass famine.
Nothing's growing at that point.
It was like recorded in China that it was snowing during the summer. They called it like the year of darkness.
Golly.
And like, but what that did was, with the famine and all that stuff, all these animals, mainly rats, would come in because it was so cold outside. They would come into homes, that ended up leading to the bubonic plague.
No way, because they carried it. Wow.
It was like the first recorded plague was from the result of this volcano going off in Iceland.
It's crazy how after all this stuff plays out, you can look back and trace something like the bubonic plague back to an actual volcano eruption.
What's inside the Ark of the Covenant? So inside the Ark of the Covenant, you find three things. There are the second edition of the Ten Commandments, because you remember the first tablets were destroyed when Moses confronted the sin of the people. And so there are the two tablets of the Ten Commandments. The next one is there's what's called an omer, or a jar filled with manna, which is bread that came down from heaven to provide for the people, that lasted forever when it was in the presence of God's glory. And finally, there was the rod of Aaron, which supernaturally blossomed, this dead stick that came to life and blossomed and produced almonds. In other words, it had come from death to life. All of those three things, pointing to the resurrection and mercy of God, were kept inside the Ark of the Covenant as a reflection of who he is.
So it's my understanding that the Ark of the Covenant's not even supposed to be here on this planet anymore. But if it is, and I've actually heard accounts of people seeing it in the Vatican, in their archives. So if it is here, that's where it's located, in my opinion. Again, we need to do a rush on those Vatican archives. We need to see what's down there. I can't imagine all the stuff they're hiding.
You can see this is apparently Mount Sinai. There's video footage of all this. The top is still burned. Became a type of a volcanic glass like obsidian or something. It actually burned the rock. There's also apparently the altar that Aaron made with a golden calf. They made the golden calf on the altar, but on the side of the altar, they drew a picture of a calf or cow. Still there. God told Moses to smite the rock and water would come out. A lot of folks think this is the rock that Moses smote. That rock sticking up on that mountain is 5 stories tall. 50 feet to the top of that rock, as tall as these trees around here. And it's split right down the middle. On both sides there are erosion marks. Water came pouring out of that rock. We have sulfur balls. I've got some here on the table. These are actual sulfur balls from Sodom and Gomorrah. They're 99.9% sulfur, and they're burned out. These sulfur balls specimens were tested by Michael Bonilla, a friend of mine up in New York. He said they were 97.4% pure sulfur when he had them tested. Millions of these sulfur balls are over there, right in that one area. It literally rained burning sulfur. So hot that it took the bricks of the city and baked it into ash. No place else in the world has these phenomena. We've got hundreds of them in our museum out here. Sulfur balls from Sodom and Gomorrah.
You know, I'm not a religious man, but here lately I've been seeing more and more evidence that backs up what's written in Scripture, which is quite confusing to me because I know that a lot of Scripture is used from other texts that predate it. The fact that that stuff is being evidenced now is making me reevaluate my position on religion.
Goosebumps are piloerections, which happens when the two hemispheres of the brain are syncing together to create grey matter in the brain, which is the Christos, the Kundalini, which goes down the spine. Resurrection. Res is resh, meaning head. Erection is the piloerection. If you cannot create a piloerection by will, you cannot raise your Kundalini. If you can generate these goosebumps by will, you will feel a tingling sensation in the brain, which will then spread down the body. Use your mind to focus on this energy, this tingling sensation at the base of the spine, and raise it up to the brain again. You'll then feel your brain become hollow and filled with tingling sensations and light. It's one of the most divine experiences you could ever have. Oh, look at my skin. There's no goosebumps, nothing. This is all clear. Now watch this. This is mental control over the electric nervous system in the brain, sending electrical currents through the body. The tingling sensation you feel is the increase in brain activity. If you can't do it by will, you can practice this because it is a muscle. You can use frequencies as well to activate them. And when you feel the tingling sensation coming, you need to hold on to it and raise it from the base of the spine up to the brain.
So I put this in here because I left a rather nasty review on this guy's book. Nothing against him in particular. I don't think that he's out there trying to scam people. I just think that the book needs more context clues. I think it needs reference paragraphs on each page breaking down what all these things are supposed to be connected by. He puts a lot of images up and just says this represents that. Why? And how do you know that? Seeing that he's got the ability to give himself goosebumps, I just tried it myself. I can't do it. Tried using the same breathing technique that he was doing. The fact that he can do that, and the fact that he put the effort in to write this book, I do believe that he truly believes what he's saying. I just think that he needs to hold his readers' hands a little bit more. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, I make a new one just like it every other day. It'd be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back to join me. All right, it's kind of crazy that you can't tell us something is CG or if it's AI anymore. I'm going to go with AI because it looks like some of the short AI clips that I've seen people give prompts for. It literally looks like someone give a prompt to an AI video generator saying, show 2 scuba divers getting approached by a dinosaur. And it's clearly not real because they don't react at all. And if you're scuba diving and you see an actual dinosaur in the water with you, you're going to have a reaction.
Laser technology was used to build the sophisticated buildings we see from the past. There is no way these buildings were carved from a hammer and chisel, nor was this built without the assistance of electrical advanced machines. The detail in these stone-carved buildings reflect how advanced the human mind was in these periods of time. These buildings you see are thousands of years old. What we've been told as history does not match with what we see. Well, that's because history is his story.
I can kind of get on board with this theory. I don't know for a fact that we had lasers back then and that's what they were using to build these structures with, but it definitely wasn't done with a hammer and a chisel. I can't even draw some of the stuff that they were chiseling out of rock. Honestly, I can't even imagine in my own mind some of the stuff that they created, much less sit there and create it myself. But this stuff is clearly machined. The details in all these carvings and stuff are so fine that it has to be machined.
Why is nobody talking about what this woman just said? Listen closely, she just might change her mind.
Remember, if alternative medicine had been shown to work, then it would just be called medicine.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with the 1910 Flexner report, where the 2 largest investors in the pharmaceutical drug industry effectively mandated that medical schools need to remove natural therapies from their curriculum so they could focus on the clinical advancement of modern medicine and pharmaceutical drugs.
If you watch the rest of that video, she breaks down all the ways the medical and pharmaceutical industry vilify alternative healing because it makes them no money, which explains why so few people have heard of elderberry or oregano for keeping colds at bay, or mullein for clearing mucus out of your lungs. This plant basically acts as Drano for your respiratory system. If you have asthma, bronchitis, COPD, or a nagging cough, you should be taking this. But how come you've never heard of it? And it's exactly what she said. There's people that have a vested interest in you buying their over-the-counter solutions rather than using something you can find in your own backyard. If you've been skeptical of traditional medicine and want to give this stuff a try, you can find it in health food stores, forage for it yourself, or I've linked out to a brand that I trust in my bio.
All right, I'm not going to comment on whether or not you should take something that's supposedly a natural medicine, but what that lady was saying in the beginning of that clip is 110% true.
Show. The f was on the boat, bro. They was taking it out of here. That's what they was doing. They have a boat out of here with it. Yeah, whatever it was, they almost got out of here with it. Kinds of shit the fucking.
That just looks like a lot of money floating around in the water right there. That looks like some expensive pelts or something.
All right, so here's the deal, y'all. Chick-fil-A was just busted for dangerously high amounts of prescription drugs in their sandwich. And look at all these freaking ingredients. Surely those of you following me are smart enough to know that this is not real food. This is a bunch of complete shit. It's chemicals. It's all kinds of really, really dangerous ingredients that make up this friggin' chicken sandwich. And you know why they do it? Because it's cheap and they save money and they put all these harmful ingredients in the food to preserve it and keep it longer because they want your money. Guys, stop eating fast food. I beg you, stop eating fast food. And for the love of God, please check out the link in my bio. If you want to take your health back, I have all kinds of programs up there that will change your life. Take the step to make a difference in your health right now. And I dare you to get up there in that link in the bio and grab my new program. It's the first one that's there. Promise it'll change your life.
Well, that sucks because my absolute favorite fast food item is a chicken and cheese biscuit from Chick-fil-A. And now I can't eat one because I know what they're putting in their chicken. They're putting contraceptives in the chicken. I get to decide if I get pregnant or not.
If there's one comedian I really love who would have had a lot to say about everything going on in the world right now, it's George Carlin. So I watched and listened to all of his material to develop my impression of him, and I put together a brand new hour-long stand-up comedy special.
There's one line of work that is most threatened by AI, one job that is most likely to be completely erased because of artificial intelligence. Stand-up comedy. I know what all the stand-up comics across the globe are saying right now. I'm an artist and my art form is too creative, too nuanced, too subtle to be replicated by a machine. No computer program can tell a fart joke as good as me.
This is fucking insane.
Well, let's see. This is just off the top of my artificially intelligent head. A fart was in the middle of a very nasty divorce, so she went to her sister's house and she asked her sister, "Do you think I'm doing the right thing by getting divorced?" And her sister said, "He's been holding you back for too long. You have to leave that ass."
Oh, shit, dude. Snap. Look at that part.
There you have it. Stand-up comedy is dead. Literally. I might be the first stand-up comic to be brought back from the dead by AI, but I certainly won't be the last. Richard Pryor, Joan Rivers, Bill Hicks, Robin Williams, Dick Gregory, Andy Kaufman, Moms Mabley, Sam Kinison, everybody's coming back. And we're all going to have our own 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year streams commenting on everything that's happening in the world as it happens. AI resurrected stand-up comedians are going to be the news anchors of the next decade, which, God, dude, now that I think of it, means news anchors are probably out of a job too. And I know that some people are going to be against that. Some people are always going to want a real flesh and blood human being observing the world and telling jokes about it. And I get that. I really do. But if you can keep an open mind, I think I can make a case for at least one comedian we can all agree is better in AI form. Bill Cosby.
That is hands down the most impressive AI representation I've seen anywhere ever. Not only was that George Carlin's voice, but that was written in his style. I like George Carlin's stuff. I think he's got a lot of really bad material out there, but when he's good, he is good. He is on fire, and he's one of my favorite stand-up comedians of all time. And man, that's believable. It was like listening to a lost tape.
So all over the world, people are being caught glitching out, you guys. Like, it's crazy. What is going on? Look, this dude out of nowhere just hits these guys that were parked here, and he starts glitching out, y'all. Check it out. Look at him. Just watch. And y'all see that? Oh my goodness.
His head, the camera, and just started walking down a clunkety clunk wooden sidewalk.
You look at that. This is literally how it started, y'all. Just like that. And this is how it ended, y'all. Yeah, you know. These are professionals doing their job. It's literally giving me Bird Box vibes. You know, people glitching out, the NPCs glitching out, and all these accidents and the Karens coming alive. All this stuff is going on, and including the uncertainties around the solar eclipse and the military being called for that event. So yeah, y'all, let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during this interesting time. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Drugs. It's not NPCs behaving weirdly. That is drugs. That dude they pulled out of that car was clearly on something and just not all there.
Listen, this is crazy. So basically, this video that I'm about to show you, which is Jimmy Kimmel. Basically, P. Diddy and J-Lo was dating, and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith wanted to have a son with J-Lo without him. And he didn't like that idea, and he was about to beat Will Smith. And look at his face and his reaction when Jimmy Kimmel told him.
A guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
What? Look at his face.
Well, this show has gotten crazier since the last time It's all about love, though. That's not true.
Look at his face.
Well, yeah, I watched it.
He's surprised.
You're telling me I can't believe everything I read? I don't know what you're talking about.
He's lying. Look at this. Look at this.
I mean, I thought we was friends.
When he was dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up to do a threesome. Do you see how shocked and in disbelief in his face he was? It's true. It's real. It's not a joke. People find it to be funny and entertaining. But the truth is being exposed right in front of your face of what he does and who he is and what other celebrities are doing in the industry. All that is coming out. I told you, the industry is worse than the streets.
I don't typically care about stuff like this, but it is very fun and has been fun for a while now, watching these celebrities get their just desserts, watching the downfall of some of the sickest and most depraved individuals. It's been a joy.
Conspiracy people always questioned everything. We always got made fun of for it because we couldn't just take a news article for its face value. And this is going to be the perfect example of why. This never made sense to me, this whole Diddy thing. I didn't know why they were going after him when the entire government is involved in this. They know that's been going on, it's always been going on. And we have entire Epstein's list and not a single arrest. So why him? And then it starts to come out that he had hidden cameras set up all around his properties for these lavish parties that he would throw. Here's where it gets interesting. At these parties, there would be underage girls. The guests at his parties obviously were well-to-do people. They were celebrities, high societal people, and politicians. Now, what Diddy was doing was he was using the footage from what was being caught on these hidden cameras and whatever was happening with these underage girls, and he was blackmailing his party guests. So now it's making sense that the government is not going after Diddy because they're worried about the victims of his sex trafficking. They're going after Diddy because they're being blackmailed. Nobody is exempt. They're all involved. All of them. It goes so deep, y'all.
Boy, that sure does make a heck of a lot of sense, doesn't it? While all of a sudden fingers are getting pointed and arrests are being made, the truth comes out. I know one thing, if he ends up getting arrested, it's probably going to be another situation where the cameras didn't work and the security guard fell asleep for an hour and a half, and yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Back in like the 50s or the 60s, they had a whole movement going on. I might have the decades mixed up. Y'all do the research. But they started saying, yo, the children are eating paint chips. And because there's lead in the paint, we need to start removing all lead paint from now on. Right? Because I know you've heard about lead paint, right? Yeah, no more lead paint. Why? Because the babies is eating paint chips in your lifetime. Have you ever seen any kid eat paint chips before?
No.
You any paint chips? No? Okay. You know, anytime you want somebody to do something without thinking, just say it's hurting the children. You know what I'm saying? Why would they want to remove lead paint from the homes?
Because
here we go
of
Come
the
on.
technology, because of it blocks radiation.
There we go.
It blocks radiation.
Look at them neurons firing. Superman is all powerful, but hey, put that kryptonite in the lead box, he won't know it's there. So how else am I gonna get frequencies, 5G and all that stuff to permeate through your walls and through your home, affecting you so I could see through your house and see your body and connect with you as a network if your paint got lead in it and I can't get in there? So get some lead paint, y'all. You didn't hear that from me.
Is it still?
Yeah, there's still lead paint. Yeah, they got EMF shielding paints and everything. It's a listen, there's a whole world out here where this is known. People understand this science and they hack in their house all types of ways. There's people that go to sleep with they take a copper wire and they tie it around their toe and they'll put the copper wire out their window and into the ground so that their ground as they're sleeping, and they have beautiful dreams and the best rest, and they get up feeling like the Incredible Hulk, like they could bench press a house.
Man, that makes perfect sense, because I've never heard of kids eating lead paint. I take that back. You hear about it, but you never met anyone that did it. Nobody went to school with anyone who had to take special need classes because they were eating lead paint chips. Just not a thing. It was just one of those things that you were warned of as a kid and told. That's why they had to remove lead paint, and that's why it was dangerous. But it totally makes sense. And the fact that all of our technology is 20 years behind what the government actually has, they would have known that they needed to get rid of lead paint before Wi-Fi was even rolled out to the general public, because they know what they want to use it for.
Tell them the one thing you said about the NASA with the live stream.
So
funny.
They had some type of launch recently, and they had like it was NASA's brand, like, so they had like a big desk and 4 experts and the NASA logo, and they had people calling in. Any questions you have about this mission that we're on right now? Let us know. Let them fly. They call in and they're like, Apollo 11 to the moon was streamed live to the world. How are we not able to see live footage of this craft right now? And they're like, listen, space is hard, but the moon is harder. And we're like, wait, what? Back up. What does that mean? It's like, that doesn't even make any sense. It was 1969.
That's not a real answer.
They just keep calling in. They just keep dodging. And it's just a weird thing.
Next question.
Thank you for calling. But,
they seem to be breaking up. They're like, no, I'm right here. No. Oh, we lost them.
You know what, NASA, this sounds like a bad idea. NASA should have somebody vetting the questions before sending it live, right?
Yeah, you'd think.
Jeez.
Yeah, but if it's live, you can't control it. And I love
maybe they
those.
were like, I'm asking about what's
Yeah.
inside the spacesuit. My name's Timmy. I just want to know how big the moon is.
Okay, Timmy.
You guys are a bunch of liars, and you never went to the moon. You're a coward, Buzz.
And if you know me, you know I love any video where someone's crapping on NASA and exposing them for the liars and the fakes and cheats that they are. So that's the only reason I put that video in there, because I find it hilarious. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope everyone enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I hope you come back for the next video in a couple days. I'll be back here with another one, just like I always am. I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.